On the first day of Christmas, my brew love gave to me. Welcome to the first beer of Christmas. On this day, my brew love gave to me a beer that is billed as a smoked lager brewed with hot rocks from Mikkeller Brewing brewery in San Diego and Fair State Brewing Co-op here in Twin Cities. So it's a collaboration beer. I've had this several times on tap. And then was able to find some cans, and I wanted Barry Salem to join me to do a tasting note. So we've kind of sipped it already. The beer's got a great story. First off, what do you think of the beer?
Well, it's very smoky. There's some bitterness. It's very tasty. It was explained to me that it's a Marzen, you said?
Kind of like a Helles Marzen.
Okay.
So the story is, and this is from Daniel Cady, who is the head brewer and special projects manager at Mikkeller, San Diego. He sent this great note with a lot of information, more than I was expecting. He basically got turned on to Fair State at a GABF once upon a time when he crossed their booth and he had their Lichtenhainer, which is their mixed fermentation smoked beer that is really, really good. So a light bulb went off in Daniel's head. He was like, smoked beer. He talks about with that beer, the acidity, but the smoke with this bright, fruity notes, also rich and meaty. So when they teamed up, they decided a smoked beer was the way to go. In the smoked lager subgenre, we built a grist that consisted of Pilsner, Vienna, Munich, oak smoked wheat, and beechwood smoked malt, paired with a modest hop schedule of Hallertau Mittelfrüh and Tettnanger. So we're basically, in my mind, it's kind of like a smoked fest beer almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's refreshing, but the smoke definitely comes through. It's, to me, actually, I don't know if you're getting it as much as I am.
Oh, it's quite, and it's interesting now that I know that it's two layered. It's like oat smoked wheat and beechwood smoke. Mm-hmm. So what's really cool, so the Hot Rocks part of this is it's a Stein beer project. They basically brewed this beer in their brew house, and a friend of theirs with a wood-fired pizza trailer, like a mobile pizza oven, they figured out that they could heat granite rock in his pizza oven to almost 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit or beyond. So dude pulls up, they busted up an empty bourbon barrel, he says, cut the staves. So they used the staves of a barrel, some oak logs and eucalyptus. They used the fire. Over the course of an hour, these rocks got glowingly hot, after which they put them into a mobile hotback, which basically looks like almost like a giant stainless steel cylinder. Mm-hmm. They fill this cylinder with these hot rocks, move it close to their kettle, and they basically pump the wort from their kettle up into this hotback that's filled with these rocks. And he says they're basically able to simmer for about 30 minutes using the heat of those rocks. You know, we've seen projects like this before, Stein beers, where rocks are put into unboiled wort to basically boil it from times when brewers did not have access to direct fired technology and whatnot.
Right. So,
and then fermented with their house lager yeast strain, and then carbonated naturally over a very long conditioning period, 110 days, before being canned release. And it is definitely carbonated.
Yes,
it's got this great swirl of bubbles coming from the bottom of the glass. I don't know if I would have guessed that it had gone through like a Stein beer process. It doesn't taste overly caramelized. Right. But with that kind of malt bill, fairly innocent, Vienna, Munich, and Pils, it definitely has a little more richer body than that.
I'm getting a little sweetness now. When I first drank it, all I had was smoke and bitterness, but now I'm getting a little bit of the sweetness through. Definitely starting to taste the malt a little bit more, and I think this is the kind of beer that you probably have to drink a little bit of it first before you start to get all the flavors.
Yeah, and it's cold too. It's really cold right now. We've been keeping everything on the freezing cold porch, basically. Yes. The nature's refrigerator.
Yeah.
When I've had this, it's been throughout this fall, and I've just thought it a very nice, kind of an opposite to what we're starting to ramp into, which is like big stouts, 15% malt bombs, pastry stouts. Right. This was like a fall beer that you could still really appreciate for its smoky nuances, its lighter body, its effervescent body.
I'd say if you wanted to have several cans of this in a day, I'd say maybe after a can or two, this is much easier to drink.
Yeah.
It's already starting to get easier.
Easier?
Yeah.
It's 5.5%, so it's not a rager. It's very nice. I just wanted to like take the opportunity of one of our last 2 cans to put it on our 12 beers of Christmas list and give a shout out to Mikkeller, Daniel Cady for sure. I'm not sure who from Fair State was involved, if Nico himself went out or someone else. For the record, I totally missed it on the write-up, or I missed saying it. It was Nico. Nico Tonks of Fair State Co-op went out to San Diego.
And he got you this beer?
No.
No.
Chip Walton got me that beer.
Chip Walton went and got that beer. Who's this Chip Walton guy?
Chip Walton's debit card bought me this beer. All right, so shout out to Daniel and Nico, man. You know, shout out to a local brewery, shout out to a global brand that found a home for itself in San Diego and is doing fun experimental stuff. Hot rocks.
Fantastic.
Rock for rock. Brew for brew.